In this week's Torah Portion Emor, we learn about a very special time period of 7 weeks between Passover and the holiday of Shavuot. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Everyone knows about Passover, the celebrating of the Exodus, the leaving of Egypt, the end of slavery for the Israelites in ancient Egypt. A lot of people know about the holiday of Shavuot, which celebrates the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. What's lesser known is the 7 weeks in between. And this week's Torah portion talks about that. There's an actual commandment to count every single day, these 7 weeks, these 49 days between Passover and Shavuot. Why is that? Well, first, let me tell you that Jews are still doing this today. I do it as well. We say a blessing every single day for 49 days before we do the counting. And we basically say today is the first day of the Omer. The next day, today is the second day of the Omer. And we keep going, starting actually from the second day of Passover all the way to Shavuot. Now again, what is this about? It's 7 whole weeks, okay, and adds up again to 49 days. Now the deeper meaning behind this is because when the Israelites left Egypt, they experienced freedom, redemption, salvation. It was an amazing thing. After over 200 years of being oppressed, of being enslaved in Egypt, finally they were free. And on some level, that's the end all be all. Just to be free, as we say in the Hebrew at the Passover Seder, dayenu. That makes it all worth it. That in and of itself, right, is enough. But Judaism says no. Freedom is not enough. It's what you do with freedom that really matters, right? It's how you use that freedom. And so basically these 7 weeks that we're counting from Passover, right? The freedom from Egypt to Shavuot, the giving of the Torah, is this time of preparing, right, ourselves. Both, the first time it happened when the Israelites left Egypt and wandered through the desert for 7 weeks and got to Mount Sinai and received the Torah, but also every single year in our own personal lives. When we remember freedom, we celebrate freedom on Passover, and then we're waiting 7 weeks to receive the Torah on Shavuot. We have these 7 weeks in between. What are we doing with that freedom? And how are we preparing ourselves to receive the Torah? Okay? And so again, it's this idea that freedom is a beautiful thing. Everyone should have it. But how are we using it? Are we using it for ourselves? Are we using it in selfish ways? Are we just using it to live, a fun and fancy life? Or are we using our freedom to do the best that we can in the world, to do the most good, to help the most people, to make the biggest positive impact in the world? How are we using that freedom? And so by counting from Passover to Shavuot, like the Torah portion this week tells us to do, it's directing our mind. It's focusing us. That yes, freedom is a beautiful thing. It's a great gift, but use it well. Use it wisely. Right? God wants us to use that freedom in a very specific way. And this counting leads us up to Shavuot, right, which is the receiving of the Torah. What's the Torah? The Torah is the instruction manual from God. It's God telling us how we should be in the world. It's the 613 commandments. It's the ways of God. It's the ways of being. Right? It's the ways of righteousness. It's the ways of being the best people we can possibly be. But we need sometimes to prepare for that. We need to work on ourselves. And every day for 49 days, we're meant to actually do inner work, to be a bit introspective. See, what am I doing well and what can I be doing better? What's, going well and what's maybe not going so well? Where can I improve? And being honest with ourselves. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. Right? How can I be better though? And so we have this beautiful 49-day period between Passover and Shavuot to really prepare ourselves. Like God wasn't expecting the Israelites to go from slaves, for over 200 years, just beaten and downtrodden and oppressed, to receiving the Torah on Mount Sinai. No, we needed these 7 weeks. They needed those 7 weeks, right, to really, really prepare. And every single year in our lives today, we have kind of a parallel of that, to really say all the blessings I have in my life, all the freedom I have in my life. How am I using it? Am I using it in the best way possible? Am I using it for the most good? I hope all of us could bring this into our lives as teaching, extracted from this week's Torah portion, right, to be the best people that we can be and to do the most amount of good in the world.